Look, if I had a 2025 bingo card, having SpinMaster release retro figures in the style of 90s Kenner would not have been on it, but I'm so glad that they're here. What's happening, everyone? My name is Gary. Welcome to another video by Wax Nostalgic Network. Today we are diving into these brand new action figures from SpinMaster. Brand new retro, which I just love saying because it makes no sense. SpinMaster is bringing us brand new Batman Forever figures, which is crazy cool. The 90s were a crazy time for toys, but perhaps for me the most memorable were made by Kenner. From 1990s, the Dark Knight line, all the way through the late 90s, Kenner pretty much ran the game with Batman. From, again, the Dark Knight line to Batman the Animated Series to Legends of the Dark Knight. And then, offshoots including like Superman Animated Series and the Total Justice toys, not to mention the three movie tie-ins, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Kenner released all of these, and they were exceptionally cool toys for the most part. I was just the right age whenever Batman the Animated Series came out, and kind of and Batman '89. It was a culmination of everything Batman, and it was a great time to be a fan. And Kenner did not disappoint. I mean, look, there is the fact that Kenner wasn't extremely posable. Like, you've got the sword fighting Batman who, is constantly in this pose. So, as a kid, you're like, Joker's broken out of Arkham Asylum. Don't worry, Commissioner. I'll find him. Now, the posability was definitely limited, but with a little bit of imagination, Batman could do anything, right? And so when news started leaking out that they were making Batman Forever style toys from SpinMaster, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Who is this for? Because kids of this generation, they have a lot of POA in their action figures. We typically grew up with 5. We had a neck swivel, arms, and legs. And if we were lucky, we might get a waist swivel sometimes, or wow, if you had a nice toy, the bending knees. It was definitely like a tough posability time for toys compared to now. So I was kind of wondering if kids today would even dig having these retro style figures, or if they're just for us adults. This wave consists of 4 figures. We have Two-Face, we have the Riddler, we have Robin, and we have Batman. The card art is definitely inspired by the old figures. It's got, the nice animated drawing, although for me it doesn't look quite as good as the one from the 90s. That being said, it's fine. It's cool that they went with that nostalgic theme, and I mean, clearly I am all about nostalgia. And then in addition to the 4 toys, there is also this cool Batmobile, which comes with its own exclusive figure. All right, let's start with Batman. You can see his card art there and the figure. Let's see, we've got a cloth goods cape, which the original Batman Forever toys I do not believe had. And here's the figure. I think he looks pretty good. Like, all the photos that I saw, the head sculpt looked funky to me. And it still looks a little funky. He's definitely got like chunky cheeks compared to a sleeker head. But it looks a little less egregious in person than it did in the photos that I saw online beforehand. I will say he's got, I like the style of this cloth cape. It's definitely different. It's connected in 3 different spots It's connected in the shoulders and then also in the back, which I think is a nice way to keep it safe. And then there's some cool designs underneath the cape as well, which is a little hidden feature that you might not see otherwise. Now, as for posability, let's see what he's got. He can punch his arms, he can kick his legs, no knee or elbow joints. His head does turn. Oh, and look at that. His arm also swings in and out, so it's on a ball joint, which I did not anticipate that. So that's kind of a nice little bonus feature that I do not believe the originals had. But, we might as well compare and contrast, right? This is a Batman from the Defenders of Gotham 2-pack, so you can see in scale they are very similar. I think the head sculpt on the older one is definitely better, but the posability and overall bulkiness of the new one is nice. Now, I do love having the cloth goods cape versus the plastic cape, although, plastic cape is fine on these. This one's definitely in a more awkward pose. He's got his arm bent and his other one straight down, which as a kid worked for punching. But, I kind of like having the more movable arms here. But I think, side by side, it's a pretty good redo. Next up is Robin. You can see Robin's got this nice card art where he's kicking. And, oh, I neglected to mention earlier, they are only at Target, these toys. Let's take him off the card art and take a look at the figure itself. Now, the Batman Forever toy line, for whatever reason, had this funky mask design, which you can see, in the card art, the inspiration for this mask design. It's not quite accurate to the movie, but it's fine. This figure, I like the reds and the greens that they used on it, and I like how shiny it is. I think it looks pretty nice. I don't love the mask. I also don't love the way that the cape looks on him. I think with Batman having the black on black definitely helped, but having the red and yellow definitely makes this look a little more awkward. He's got this belt across his torso, and it follows through all the way into the back. And it's a decent looking figure. He's actually got less points of articulation than Batman. His arms do not swing out; they just move forward and backwards, and his legs move forward and backwards, and his head twists. So that's odd that they would change. Whoops, that's odd that they would change the mold for him like that. So let's compare him to one of the classic toys. And here is the Robin from the... All right, you know what? Earlier, I made a mistake. I called it Defenders of Gotham or something like that. It's the Guardians of Gotham City, and I'm sure some of you were screaming at your TV, so let me correct that now. But this is the Robin from the Guardians of Gotham City 2-pack, and he comes with the golden plastic cape, which I always kind of liked as a kid. And very similar, but definitely a darker palette than the newer Robin. And I don't know, I mean, I think I still prefer the original a little bit over this one. It's also interesting how dark the hair is on the new one versus the original. But, just with the original, the mask looks so much better than this almost Batman ear style mask that they were trying to do. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, Classic's going to win this one, although this is a solid figure. Next up, we have the Riddler. Now, I will say, when I was in the store, they had two Riddlers, and one of them looked sufficiently better than the other one. For whatever reason, the head sculpt on the other one was just way off. But this one's much better, I think. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's definitely better. And there's the card art on it, I think, very clearly reminiscent of Jim Carrey's wild take as the character. And so I will also add, I do not have the Riddler figure that this is based off of. I have the Riddler from the Two-Face and Riddler 2-pack, which does not have a catchy name for me to get wrong. But here they are side by side. I think that the new SpinMaster one is just a hair bit taller than the original, but we'll say it's the hat. And there's actually, yeah, there's a figure that's much more closer to this style Riddler than than this one, where he does have the monitor and everything strapped to him. But I do not have that figure. I thought I did, but I can't find it anywhere. But he's got black and green details all around him. I like the little thing on the monitor, which is, it seems to be a printed piece instead of a sticker, which I think is kind of nice. But yeah, you can see he's got a decent face design, although I mean, I think the original takes it for me in this regard too. But you know, it's a good looking figure, and again, slightly different shades of colors, which differentiates it from the classic line, I believe. But yeah, not a bad figure. And he's got one balled up fist and one, you know, slightly open fist for holding presumably weapons, which that's something to talk about with this line, is that they do not have accessories versus the original, which, you know, each figure came with an accessory. So that's a little bit of a missed opportunity too, but I also understand that maybe it's a whole, you know, can't use weapons and stuff like that. I really don't know. But it's odd because SpinMaster has been doing Batman for a handful of years now, and their whole thing is that they include accessories. So it's a little strange that these Kenner figures don't have that. Anyways, we got one more, and that is Two-Face. We're going to do this a little in reverse. Before we get into the new figure, I'm going to show you the classic figure, or classic figures, as I found out. I realized I have two Two-Faces. Is that four faces? I don't know. I have two of these, and they are different colors and different molds. Well, no, I mean, same mold, different colors, which I believe this one came in the 2-pack with Riddler, and then this is the more classic one that comes with weapons and everything like that. I also found this great Two-Face coin, which came with the standard release figure, and one side is clean, good, and then the other side is scratched up and bad. So, you know, maybe I'll use this to let me know whether I should open the new toy or not. So let's see. I don't know where that went. You know what? We're just going to open it anyways. We've opened the other three, so let's go for it. This is the Two-Face figure. This one is the one that I was perhaps most excited about whenever it was announced. Let's look at the card art. I mean, it's pretty clear to me that they didn't get Tommy Lee Jones approval on this one. It's close, but not quite. Not quite there. And here is the figure. I think this one looks pretty darn good. I think it definitely looks more like Tommy Lee Jones than the classic does. I feel like they also course corrected something here in that the original has this gun that's forever stuck in his hand. But this one actually has an open hand, so you can put a gun in there if you want. This one also has the glove on, which he wears in the movie, but the original toy did not include. So it's nice to have a little more of a movie accurate figure with this one. And yeah, I think there's not a lot of, he's probably got the least amount of detail on the back, but I think it looks really, really solid. Now, this is perhaps the thing that I am most excited about. This car right here. It's got such cool box art. I love the retro collection sticker on it. Well, it's not a sticker, but it looks like one. And it's got, you know, just nice theming all around. I think it looks really sharp. And it comes with a Batman figure that's exclusive to this car. So not only do we get the Batmobile, we also get, well, this one's also just called Batman. So we'll see what it looks like outside of the packaging. Okay, so essentially the vehicle came in one piece, and then you've got the fins that you add to the car. And so let's pop those in real quick. I will say they were a little hard to get out of the box without destroying the box, and I didn't have the patience to try to use well, to get a knife and actually cut the tape that was holding it in. So that one's on me, I'll admit. The fin the main fin on the back doesn't go in as deeply as I would like for it to. That one pops in nicely. Yeah, it feels like this is not going in for some reason. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's probably never coming out again. And so this is the car. I think it looks really nice all put together. It's got some nice blue elements under the black plastic. And I mean, you can tell this is a cheaply made car, but it's 20 bucks, guys. Like I can't get mad at a little just basic plastic coloring here, right? Like it looks great for 20 bucks, I think. Not to mention, and I hope he's inside of here because I did not see the Batman toy in the box. So here's hoping that he's inside the cockpit of the vehicle, which is taped on. This is good TV right here, folks. There we go. And there he is, hiding inside the car. So it's pretty much just an exact repaint of the one that exists, where he's got a slightly lighter colored suit on, but it's a free Batman that goes in this car. Like, well, I'm not upset about that. So like, there's not a ton of detail in the cockpit. You can see there's a sort of a cutout of a steering wheel, and then like maybe some vague buttons that Batman can push, but outside of that, like this looks great for $20. And then it's honestly less than that whenever you factor in that the figure would probably be $5 to I mean, the standard figures are $9. And you know, he doesn't come with the packaging, so I know that would take a little bit off of it, but you know, I would say this is still like a $7 toy, and then a $20, so you're basically paying 13 bucks for this Batmobile, and I think it's totally worth 13 bucks. So at the top of the video, I said, I don't know who this is for. I mean, it's for me, right? Like, this is for someone who grew up in the 90s and who loved these toys, and, you know, like it's, I guess, to help us fill in holes in our collection. But I do feel like it's weird that they started with something where we already had a solid amount of figures and didn't really give us anything new. But then again, you know, when you're spending less than $70 for the entire wave of these things, including a vehicle, like that's pretty good. I mean, it's close to 90s pricing. I haven't done the calculations, but I feel like with inflation, it's pretty darn close to what we would have paid for these individual figures. And the vehicle, I think, might actually be cheaper than it would have been in the 90s. And it's also, you know, a little cheaper made, but that being said, it still looks great for $20. And I'm excited to see, you know, I hope that this is a success. I hope they don't shoot themselves in the foot by releasing something like this that, you know, like I say, already has a place on people's shelves. And adding these figures isn't really going to improve that collection or detract from it. These are just kind of there. And I hope that doesn't affect SpinMaster negatively, and that they continue to do this. Because on the back of the cards, they tease Superman is coming soon, and based on statements made by people who work for SpinMaster, I'm led to believe that that would be Kenner style figures for the Christopher Reeves Superman movie, which is something that doesn't exist. And I hope that this line can continue on and continue to give us things for movies that we never had in this style before. To me, that's where SpinMaster wins. With these figures, it's a semi-win, right? Like, I'm happy to have them. I'm happy with the price points, and I think that they're really cool for what they are. But like right after McFarlane gave us these great figures, these also feel a little lackluster in the market. So I don't know if that's just a timing thing, or if SpinMaster decided to do that based on the solicitations from McFarlane, or, you know, like, I don't know how this all came together and how long this has been a project that they've been working on. But I'm happy with what they gave us. I look forward to more. And yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude my thoughts on this. So what do you think? Have you got these? How do you feel about them? Shoot me a message and let me know. And I will be back with more video content soon. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay nostalgic. Later, guys. Oh, shoot. All right, here we go. I'm not good at this. That was terrible. Gotta get a good spin on it. SpinMaster. Oh, that's not good. Here we go, here we go. Why did I put this on the back? I give up. I'm not good at this.